Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject. And
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much.
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
This one was supposed to be a political ambush. Congresswoman Omar came in swinging, armed with headlines, dramatic pauses, and the word conflict on repeat like it was a magic spell. The goal? Paint Betsy DeVos and her team as corrupt insiders funneling billions to their buddies. The problem? The facts didn't cooperate. What followed was a slow-motion collapse where accusations hit the wall of reality and slid straight down. If you love watching political theater get bulldozed by basic facts, hit like, subscribe, and buckle up. Let's watch the full clip before I give you the full breakdown.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam Secretary, countless news sources have reported on the conflict of interest that run rampant through your top aides, especially those advising you on higher ed and loan servicing. When responding to questions about these conflicts, you have failed to adequately convince Congress and the American people that these conflicts do not interfere with the billions of taxpayer dollars flowing from education to corporate interest. Today, I would like to better understand your decisions for selecting aides and ensuring that their conflicts do not harm taxpayers. Last May, 4 of my colleagues on this committee sent your General Counsel a request for information about conflict of interest surrounding your $2 billion NextGen loan servicing solicitation. Given that this solicitation is given, I would like some information about the team that's leading it. Does Dr. A. Wade Johnson, is he the one that's spearheading this solicitation?
Dr. Johnson is head of the NextGen initiative.
All right. According to New York Times investigation, Dr. Johnson was the founder and chief executive of a private student loan company, Reunion Student Loan Financing Corporation, before assuming his official role with the department. Is that correct?
That probably is correct.
Yes, it is.
Let me just interject. And
I would like to continue.
And I would like to make clear that
we'll give you some time. I will get to it. Thank you so much. Dr. Johnson was also the executive at the two financial services companies, First Data Corporation and TSYS. Additionally, Dr. Johnson was hired at least one other TSYS veteran, Mr. Patrick Fox. Have any of Dr. Johnson's previous employers bid on elements of NextGen solicitation?
Congresswoman, all of my staff, all of my team at the Department of Education and Federal Student Aid has gone through their ethics process, has taken and takes their ethics obligations very seriously. We don't have conflicts, and we will not be conflicted. We have continued to have a robust screening process, and can stand and be very resolute about that.
So given that there is about $2 billion per year in taxpayer dollars flowing through this program, will you commit to releasing communication between the procurement team and any of Dr. Johnson's former employees?
So all of the procurement is walled off from the rest.
That would just be yes or no. Would you be committed to releasing any communication between Dr. Johnson and his employees?
Not to releasing internal communication, but the procurement team is walled off from the rest of the team, and the procurement process is very definitely prescribed as to how it has to happen.
That has not clearly answered my question. The federal acquisition regulations have a section on conflict of interest. It states, the general rule is to avoid strictly any conflict of interest or even the appearance of conflict of interest in government contract relations. While many federal laws and regulations place restrictions on actions of government personnel, their official conduct must, in addition, be such that they would not have no reluctance to make a full public disclosure of their actions. You seem to have reluctance to make a full public disclosure of the actions of the head of the department's largest single procurement team, despite there being obvious appearance of conflict of interest. How is your denial to release communication in line with extremely high conflict of interest standards that's required by federal law?
The individual you have referred to is not part of the acquisition or procurement team.
Okay. But we need the communication that is happening between.
All right, now that
the
you've
people
seen
who
it,
make-
let's be honest. This wasn't oversight. This was performance art with a government badge. Omar tried to turn Dr. Wayne Johnson's resume into a criminal charge sheet. Private sector experience? Suspicious. Financial industry background? Red flag. Executive leadership? Clearly a conspiracy. Since when did being qualified become evidence of corruption? Washington complains nonstop that bureaucrats don't understand business, don't understand the real world, don't understand finance. Then someone actually has experience in the field, and suddenly it's, aha, gotcha. That's not accountability, that's desperation. And Secretary DeVos? She didn't blink. No panic. No stuttering. No emotional meltdown. Just calm repetition of the facts. Ethics screening, strict procedures, procurement walled off, process, structure, rules. That's how government contracting works. But that answer didn't fit the script Omar came prepared with, so she kept pushing. Release communications. Full disclosure. Dramatic tone, heavy implication. The whole setup was designed to create smoke and hope the audience assumed there was fire. Then came the moment that flipped the entire exchange. DeVos stated clearly, the individual in question wasn't even part of the acquisition or procurement team. Translation: the centerpiece of the accusation had no authority over the contracts being questioned. That's not a minor detail. That's the whole case evaporating in real time. This is what happens when you build a narrative first and go hunting for evidence later. Republicans came with process and policy. Democrats came with insinuation and headlines. And when the dust settled, the conflict of interest storyline looked more like a failed audition for cable news. Oversight matters. Transparency matters. But so do facts. And in this exchange, the facts didn't just win, they exposed how thin the attack really was.